Zsecurity CTF challenge. So let's get started. So I will enumerate the system using Nmap, and we will try and figure out what are the open ports and how we can exploit it. So this is the command of Nmap. It takes some time. So I will pause the video here and resume it after it completes. So perfect. The scan got executed and we got the open ports. So there are lots of open ports on the system, but I will try and exploit the Tomcat service. So I will go into the browser, I will be typing the IP. And the port number. So yes, this is the Tomcat service. So there are lots of things we can exploit here. So let's try and exploit this. It's asking for username and password. So let's try this default credentials, Tomcat. So yeah, so the default credentials are accepted and we got into the manager application. So let's see if we can deploy a payload here to get a reverse shell access. So yeah, so there is a war file to upload here and we can browse here and deploy it. So for that, let's create a payload first. You can see the documents, examples, host manager, and web code. So we can deploy it here. So first create a payload. So I have already created the payload here, and that is shell var. You can also create your own payload using msf command. I will be just typing it. I am using the payload Linux because the system is running on Linux, and I will be using meterpreter as a listener. And reverse TCP, setting the LHOST to my IP. This is my local IP, and port to 444, and format should be in var file. So I will be giving the format, and output should be on shell1.var. So this is the command which I used, and this is the payload which I used. This is my host, this is the port number, and if I had to enter, it may take 5 minutes to create my payload, but I will be not doing it right now because I already created it. And here's my payload. So I will be deploying it into this application, and let's get the reverse shell access. I will be browsing it to Zsecurity and shell. Okay, I will be deploying it. So I got an OK message. It seems perfect. So here we go. So here I deployed my payload. So in order to get a reverse shell, I need to set up a listener. So I will be setting up a listener on msfconsole. Okay, so I will be using a default listener which is available on msfconsole. That's it is handler, multi-handler. Okay, I will be telling it multi. Okay, so I will be setting up the payload which I used, and the payload is Linux 86 meterpreter reverse TCP, and I will be showing the options. Okay, and I need to modify this. I need to set the LHOST. Okay, I will be setting the LHOST to 10.9.191.154. Okay, LPORT to 444. Okay, and I will exploit now. Okay, so the reverse TCP has started here. So let's go back to the web application. I will be browsing here. So yeah, it says that it's HTTP 404 error. So obviously this shell doesn't contain HTTP code, so it is obvious that it's gonna show this error. but the payload which I deployed, I need to copy that because I don't know what's the name. Yeah, here is the name. Okay, I will be copying it. I need to copy this, and I need to access this page. This is a JSP page. I need to paste it here. Let's get, okay, so nothing happened here. Let's see if we got any reverse shell. Okay, so there is a meterpreter shell opened here. Let's see if we got the same. Yeah, so we got a reverse shell access and exploit this shell. Okay, yes, so actually we got the reverse shell, but the shell isn't stable, I think. Yeah, the shell isn't stable, so I will be using some Python command. Yeah, now we got a stable shell. So I am logged in as user Tomcat7, and this is the computer's name CTF. Let's go in which directory we are to see in which directory we are. 1 second, let's see what has this. Yeah, okay, so let's type the pwd command. Yeah, so we are in var lib tomcat. Okay, this is cool. So we got the user cell access, and now we need to go and get root access. So the flag is in root. Let's cd to root. So it clearly saying that permission is denied. So we need to get root access. So we should become root. So there are two types, like two things we can do to get root access. So the first one is that let's try the sudo command. Okay, it's asking for password. Let's try some random things. Okay. Okay, so we don't know the root password, so I tried some random things, and after 3 incorrect attempts, same terminal we got. So let's clear this. Okay, it's saying that temp variable is not set, so let's set the temp variable so that we can get even more stable shell. So let's try that. Okay, so I've just set the temp variable to Linux. Yeah, perfect. So I just cleared the terminal, and now let's try and exploit the SUID binary files, because if some files are misconfigured, then we can exploit them to get the root access. So for that I will be finding that files which have that permission. I will be typing this command user s, and we need to find the permissions. So I need to specify the permission flag, the user, and I don't want any none values, so I will be using this. Okay, so it's running the command. So there are lots of files here, but some files are default, so we can't use all files. Okay, so there are some files here. We need to search for the files which are misconfigured. So for that you need to know what are the files actually present in this binary. So I have an idea of what are the files present in the binary by default. So let's see if we have any misconfigured file here. Okay, everything seems fine. Okay, so there is a file called bin./cp. So this file, okay, so cp shouldn't be there here. It's kind of weird here. Okay, so let's try and exploit this cp. Cp is basically a copy command, so that we can copy one file to another file or another directory. Anything we can do using cp command. So we need to exploit using this cp command. So the one thing we can do here is that we can copy the password file and change it and overwrite it. So let's see if that happens. Let's see, we can do that. /etc/password. So basically I am listing out the details which are there in the password file. Basically this file contains all the users with the passwords and the permissions they have on this computer. So let's see. Okay, this is the content of the file. There are lots of users here, and something is in gibberish, some we can understand. Okay, so this is the users. Okay, so there are lots of users here. We logged in as Tomcat7. For us, the bin/bash is false, so that's why we didn't get any stable shell. Now let me do one thing. I will just capture everything. I just copy this, and I will be okay. I will be pasting this in the leaf pad so that we can manipulate the file. Okay, so I've pasted everything which was there in this password file. Okay, so now we will be adding our username to this file and we will be manipulating it. Password using SSL password and specifying the salt. I will be giving my username something like room7. That's my username. You can give whatever you want, and I will be typing some password, random password, and I should remember this password. Okay, I will have remembered it. And this is okay, so this is this gibberish format which the computer understands. I will be copying it and I will be adding it here. Okay, this is the password, this is the username, and I will be adding the password file here, and I will say that give root access to this user. So I just need to manipulate some code here so that we got root access. So that's what I have done it. So let's save this, and we have to save as password because we need the same name as the name which is there in this Linux system, because we need to override it. So I will be saving it in Zsecurity. Okay, I already have that password file. Okay, so basically I have a password file here, so the same file which I created here. So I will be not saving this, I will be cancelling it. I will be showing you what is there. Okay, I will be clicking it no. I will be showing you what is there in that file. It's the same, just I made that before recording this video. Let's go to Zsecurity and let's list out. I will be doing cat password. So see, the same command I have just copy pasted in this. So I have the file here. You can also save it, and that's it. That should be pretty easy. But the thing here is that the file is in my computer and I need to get that file into this computer and override that file with the password file here. So it seems to be pretty difficult, but if there is Python with us, we can do anything we want. So I'm just setting up a small simple HTTP server, which is very easy on port 80. So what this basically does is that it lists off all the files which are available in Zsecurity on a HTTP server that is running on port 80. So I need to just run a small command to get that file. So I will be seeding it to temp directory because temp directory accepts everything which is coming and it is rewritable. I will be using this command. We get HTTP server because that's what I set up, and 191.154. This is the local IP on port 80, and the file name which is there on Zsecurity is password. Once again, yeah. So the transfer is 100% complete, and this is a get request, and it's successful. So let's see if we got that file. Yes, the file is here. So that's it. I think we need to use the cp command. Let's see if we can just overwrite that file. Okay, so I'm using this file which I modified, and I'm copying this file and overwriting it to this file, that is the actual default file. Let's click enter. Yeah, it got perfectly executed. So let's sudo wham7. So yeah, so it got executed perfectly, and it's asking for the password. The password should be the same which I just created, and I should get the root access. So it's simple. We got the root access here. So let's go to root directory now. Cd to root. Let's do that. And yes, so it also got executed perfectly. And yeah, I think this is the flag. Let's see. Maybe finally this .txt. That's cool. Okay, it doesn't seem like this is a flag. It's in gibberish. It seems like it's base 64. Let's copy it and see if we can decode it. We need to decode it. Decode base 64. Okay, I will be pasting it. Oh, I think I did. Okay, that's cool. Okay, and still we didn't get the flag. This is something like base 32, I guess. Yes, it's base 32. Copy it. Let's go to base 32. Base 32 decode. Some cryptography stuff and all. Let's paste it here. Okay, so this also doesn't seem to be flag, because flag should start with FLAG and there should be something written here. So I think this is r00t because it's in the same format. So let's do that. Let's decode it to r00t. Okay, r00t. Okay, this is r00t. I'll pasting it here. Let's do it. Yeah, that's it. We got the flag. It says flag, you finally rooted me here. Okay, here we go. So I already answered it, and that's the correct answer. So hope you like this video. You can access this box and go through vulnerabilities. You can use my walkthrough to complete this box, and if you liked it, that like button, and thank you.